Hello everyone. Apology for that. I'm just loading up the game now. Hello everyone. Oops. One of my monitorings is actually feedbacking. Sorry about that. And I don't have the... there we go. So, yeah. Hello and welcome to Shapez. I'll put the game audio on now. So, yeah. This is Shapez 2, the sequel to Shapez, which was a factory building game all about, well, making shapes. Like, the high concept is pretty simple. There's lots of details that you have to worry about. So I think it'll be fair to just start a new game and start right at the beginning. Let's go normal difficulty and we'll just rattle through the Owen's stream save. And just spin the seed of doom. There's the seed if you want to copy. And we'll just go start from operator certification and basically move on from there. Just the tutorial. So get everyone in on the joke, I guess. Welcome to your certification. Thank you for signing up. You did sign up, right? Either way, the Vortex requires us to evaluate your factory operator skills before issuing your operator certification. Simply deliver the required shapes as efficiently as possible. That's it. We might reward you with new upgrades and technologies based on your performance. And you can have as many buildings as you want, but please don't damage them. We still need them for the next participant. I will strive for efficiency and build no spaghetti factories. I will not damage any buildings. These are probably going to wind up being lies, but we'll see. So we begin with... Oh, and the new innovation. Everything's in 3D now. We begin with extracting shapes. Put 4 circle dudes here, then build a belt. Here is the big innovation in a belt design. The ability to hold down, I'm still holding down the mouse button, pressing C to lock that corner in place, and then moving down, pressing C again, and then navigating all the way into the vortex. And then we have ASD handles camera duties and can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel. And begin with like just extracting circles, have them just thrown into the void. And basically the void will come up with instructions and we must feed the void. Here's tutorials. And the goal is 10 circles. Okay, we now need 40 half circles. So it recommends tree cutting. Need multiple buildings per belt. The amount is shown in the top right. So if we load up, this is a half destroyer. It destroys the west half of a shape. And for maximum efficiency, for a full belt, you need 3 buildings. It's cut at 20 per minute. So if I place one here, place second here, you know how everything stops while the cutting takes place, leaving you with empty belt. So what you have to do is to drag to split and merge belt. So you drag, that splits the belt, and this merges it back in. So now we've got tree cutters able to accommodate tree shapes being cut simultaneously. And once everything slots back into the belt, we have pretty much a full belt again. Meanwhile, we need 10 squares, so if we're going down here, we'll see a place to extract 10, well, extract squares in general. So just do what we did with the circles. Just do a very basic belt. I'll throw it straight into the void. Once the squares get extracted, they queue up into this belt, flung over this gap, and then flung into the void. Okay, so wants a quarter circle, but as you see, it deals with the west side, which is to say the left side, so you need to rotate everything before you chop the left side off again. So, rotators and cutters, and then a new belt to vortex. The vortex accepts any shape rotations. You don't have to be specifically this quarter. We're using, doesn't have to be specifically this top right quarter. We can use the bottom right quarter instead. And see, with the squares, it's the same again. So we can go cut, 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 and then split the belt off 2 ways, and then have it joined back in. I presume next one's going to be quarter squares, which we can do the rotator, rotate 9 degrees, and then cut the west side again, and then merge it back. So yeah. Just a wee break while we wait for shapes to be delivered into the void. Yeah, it gives me an opportunity to just like double check everything, see everything is streaming, see everything is like operational. And just getting stream health. It's good, but it's like YouTube wants more bitrate. I'm distracted. Milestone 1 completed. Unlock your rewards in milestone interface. Here's like the main goal, is to get to the end of this path. All the way over here to end game stuff. But we begin with the stacker and the concept of a second floor. Stacker and the second floor. You are awarded the stacker and the second floor, allowing you to stack shapes and build multi-layer factories. Let's see what you can do with them. We've got the ability to stack shapes on top of each other, the ability to build on the second floor, and a bunch of new tasks with potential upgrades in the future, including the elusive third floor. Wow. Shapes can be combined through stacking, which enables production of shapes with multiple layers, and or to combine different quarters into a single layer. The stacker receives shapes from 2 floors, as the upper shape is dropped on the top of the tower, any disconnected sectors will fall until they hit a solid surface, ideally the bomb shape. If both shapes are whole, they'll end up on top of each other. For shapes full of empty or loose quarters, some parts can fall further before landing. Here's an example where it's like this L shape at the bottom, and these like 2 quarters means the bottom right quarters on the first floor, the ground floor. Shapes can have 4 layers at most, 5 on insane difficulty, which we're not doing. Attempting to stack more than 4 layers causes the excess layers to be destroyed. This might come up later. So, we'll combine squares and circles. So first thing first, yes, I was right. We do need stackers or slows, so always place multiple of them. So first thing first, we're actually going to do the core cutting, since yes, we were indeed supposed to do core circles. But now we actually need whole circles, so we'll right click to get rid of all this since we don't actually need them anymore. So circles go on top. Okay. So again, clear that. Circles or slows, always place multiple of them. 6 per full belt. Let's see, 10 shapes per minute. So by the stackers with circles or squares. Well, as I said, circles go on top, so we have to connect floors by pressing E and Q while dragging. So E. And that loads up circles, and then Q to go back down to ground level. Okay, this also means we can extract a second round of squares, launch them onto the main room, and then use E to build a bridge over our existing line. And then, oops. Not quite far enough. Perfect. And that will result in circles or squares. Circles on top of squares, which can gather off everything into the void. Look, there's our second round of squares being harvested. That takes the bridge up over our existing line, which is now halfway done. Flinging core squares into the void. Meanwhile, we've got our circles line here locked and loaded, which means we can do some extracurricular activities while we wait. So for example, here is 2 circles on top of each other. Seems easy enough. So what we're going to do, actually probably do it inside this arena. And what we're going to do is put 2 rounds of extractors there. Then stackers, which we recommend 6 of them. 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay, you go up and go up top, and you go bottom, and then we collect it up and just do sorry. I have to go over our existing line. Like so. And look, we can see circles on top of other circles. Obtain, now what, as it explicitly tells us, now 2 research points by completing side tasks. Cool. So what else can we do? Well, we're going to do the same with squares, actually. I actually know from playing earlier that there are squares up here. So basically do the same that we just did with the circle line. So stacker here. Now those go up top. And those go bottom. Just select the shapes and then toss them straight into the void. Nice and straightforward. Oh, and it wants us to stack these. Okay. So like your 2 options are either recreate this line and basically have, just stop the flow squares and have one line go on top of the other. Well, considering we need 400 of them, it's probably going to be way quicker actually. So so it was 3 rounds of cutting, 1 rotating, and then do a rotating there. Gather the squares, their mouth again. That should be a, double checking while we wait. Yeah, that is indeed a single square. Now I have to take care because the square here, oh that's fine, the squares here and this line is the bottom left. The squares in this line is also bottom left, so that's fine. No jokes. Don't mention it. So take the conveyor belt, stick it all on top, and take the conveyor belt here. That's convenient. It's just, oops, one too far. Take them all and fling it back into the void. That should all fill up nicely. Basically, once this second line has started delivering squares, that means that we can start going. I think it was 20, so 10 per minute per machine. So 1 every second. So this can take 400 seconds. Meanwhile, our stacked circles has reached quota. So we go to tasks, click on unlock, and we now need to halve them. That's straightforward. One wee tip: it's actually possible to build buildings on the 2nd floor despite there being no visible. Look, they're floating. Nothing. No visible support. Welcome to video games, folks. But yeah, that is about as straightforward as you can get, really. And I presume if we actually look up the task for next round, it's going to be the same shape but halved. And then obviously next shape is going to be changed, same shape but quartered. This one's going to be harder, as is taking half circle and like combining it, and then taking it like a second half circle and combining it. That's where things get tricky. Alternatively, you can have third round of squares and stack it on top. The fourth. Actually, probably will be easier for now, so we'll take a break and yeah, I just realised that I probably screwed up taking that lane. Shift and hold to right click to do delete an entire area. Anyway, I actually don't need to. So shift, right click, and that gets rid of all that. Now I'm actually probably going to switch to reverse, because that frees us up for adding a line here. We can throw that the existing too close. Actually, what I can do is right click that so it's there. Then it's like up, down, and that doesn't work. Hey, you know what? Just get rid of all this and start over. Okay, so we're gonna eventually need all 4 extraction banks, whatever you want to call them. So we'll start with the leftmost 2. You can basically do parallel lines away. Okay, so first round the stacker. Take the first lane and use as the bottom row. Take the second lane. Basically use that to feed. Have them gathered up in this lane, and then grab a second round of stackers and redirect everything so it now feeds the bottom lane. And then we can take this guy, rotate him around, and then fire that off. You can see what I'm doing here is like taking this first line, using that as the base for this first base level, then taking the second line and bringing it upstairs, be added as a second level, and then taking the third line and to be added as the third level of this pyramid, and eventually we get this 3-layer square pyramid. Pretty straightforward. And once we've got 140 of these, then we can add this 4th layer here. Actually, while I wait, we'll put this line into position. So we can have squares ready and waiting. And basically do the same again. A 3rd layer stackers, use this line on top. Use the existing pyramid as the bottom. Pretty straightforward. Right. I wasn't paying attention, so I got to milestone 2 and it just wants us to chop these in half. Okay, we can do that. Probably a bit tight, but whatever, it'll do for now. Use the points to unlock an upgrade. We can have faster belts, faster cutting, faster stacking. Actually, firstly we need to cash in our unlock. I'll enable quarter circles. We've now got 4 points. We can have a counterclockwise rotator. We'll unlock the ability to just dump shapes into space. Or have a descriptive label. I think we'll actually upgrade stacking first and cutting first, because I do think that's probably the limiting factor right now. Okay, so right, so it's the same, but one of the shapes we have to rotate 180 degrees. It'd probably be easier if we rotate the bomb shape. And for rotators, the line maxes out at 2. So that should mean that we get squares on the top right, then we can do the bottom left squares on top, and that should be that request sorted. Oh yeah, we haven't done the quarter circles yet. Well, it's same as previously, right? We'll actually just do the belt before, and because there's more space. And basically once everything filters in, it should be quarter circles all the way. Meanwhile, looks like our 3 layers of pyramid is done, so we can click unlock, and then we get 4 layers of pyramid, so we basically know what to do. It's stacker on top, get a line up, get a line below, and then merge them into the existing line. And watch as we now get a 4th level added to the tower. It's all very satisfying, isn't it? But yeah, that's the very, very basics of shapes. We haven't introduced colors yet. That's where things get pretty complicated, but for now, yeah. And once we've finished with the towers, we can go back to this line here and start talking about cutting this pyramid in half. While we wait for the main lines, which are still saturated, now we click here, waiting for more items to calculate efficiency. It's at 100%, 60 items a minute. An interesting situation whereby the belts are actually the limiting factor now that we've upgraded both the cutting and stacking machines. Conflicts. Yeah. Keep that on for now. So, yeah. What shall we do since we've got more circles over here? So that's in progress. That's in progress. That's in progress. Move into like recycling milestone shapes. This will be the core squares remixed. Well, basically adding a 3rd line of core squares and then rotating them so it's like falls in the center. And then this would be like, oh yeah, 1 square, 1 quarter circle. Then sticking a circle on top and then cutting the whole thing in half. Pretty straightforward. Of course, actually tell a lie, no, it's like this is half a square plus a quarter circle. I missed that. We've already got like 2 lines there for the square. Oh yeah, we've got 2 research points, so we can actually upgrade the belts, so now they're faster. Look how everything's just noticeably quicker. Now up to 90 squares per minute. Yep. Oops. Come back. Shake goal has been completed, so we now need to take our squares and quarter them. That's going to be a bit tight, so what I'm going to do actually is take this away, add actually no, I'm going to give a bit more space, then go cutter, rotator, cutter, now will result in our squares, quarters, squares, and then join that up and speed along. Meanwhile, our side tasks are complete, so that's the pyramids sorted, that's the double quarter square sorted. Now we need to make 2 lines of that. So the easy way to do that, honestly, would be to... I know that previously we did like a separate line, but the easiest way would probably be to stop the... Actually, tell I... Well, take things over here. Some free space. Well, that's not what we want. We want stackers, 6 of them. And we'll simply split them. Yeah. So we'll go to here. Stack these on top. And then have the conveyor belt split off here, so we can have half of them on the ground floor. And like essentially do the U-turn and then have them. Oh yeah, I need to spin them twice, don't I, since I've only got 90-degree turns at the moment. So, yeah. And somehow having them stacked up and firing them into the void. Some of them are wrong because I've forgot this, you needed the second turn, but some of them will be correct. Watch as this gets rejected. No, does not like that. Oh yeah, I forgot about these. So this whole area we don't need anymore. And this is just a matter of not rotating, but just cutting them in half. Now connecting that up to the old line. And that should now use the existing, well, the previous line. Just cut it in half and off we go. Now we've got signal that is correct. So, you know how we are taking one line and splitting them into two lines, which means we're basically half as efficient. Thankfully, this is like this is a bonus task, so it's not going to impede our progress that this is like half as fast as the regular lines. As I said, capacity is about 50%. But that is fine because this one's about to finish. And we are left with the core, circle core square stack that we're doing over here. Milestone tree we can actually look at, so we're actually going to keep producing the squares, and we are producing probably pretty redundantly actually the double stacked core circles, so we'll probably wind up, yeah, we don't need to double stack cores. We don't need double stack core circles. We only need like single stack core circles. But once we got two core circles, we can then stack them to make this pattern here, which is what we're doing with the double stacked core circles here. But you know what I mean, hope. Okay, so that is ticking along. That is ticking along. We'll probably wind up being finished first, so we're gonna look at what's next. Half circles. Okay. Right. Well, we've got these circles here that we haven't touched, so we'll prepare for the next step by essentially getting half circles out of them now. So, tree, that's not what I want. Tree cutting lines, I can just conveyor belt them. And wait. Actually, just double check, yeah, they'll be on the same side. But thankfully we can do an upgrade now, and we can buy the 180-degree rotator. So instead of having two rotators, we can select the 180-degree rotator and do this move in one building. Okay, so I think you all know what's going to happen now. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. We'll place our existing squares on below, and then use the belts to transport half circles placed on top, and then gather them all up and fire them off into the void. Looks like we're almost finished milestone 2 now. Now we're halfway around these double stacked core circles. See you, see you, see you, see you. So this is the shape viewer. One of the benefits of 3D is that you can now view things in 3 dimensions and also have them in what layers you want and the specific cores that you need. And have it sort of exploded like this. We have completed milestone 2, so now we need to unlock blueprints. The ability to copy and to paste. We recommend prioritizing the milestone shapes first and doing the side tasks while they're being delivered. We thought you might need this. You can now copy and paste parts to your factory, but not the messy ones, please. No promises. Blueprints allow you to quickly copy and paste sections of your factories, avoiding repetitive work. Select an area with Shift left click and then press Ctrl C to copy it. Blueprints are stored as blueprint code to your system clipboard by default so you can share them with others. Alternatively, any blueprint or selection can be saved to the blueprint library with Ctrl S. This library can then be accessed with B or its designated button on the top right of the screen. Save blueprints can be edited with a right click. And then you can set custom items for your saved blueprints. And alternatively, you can place them in the blueprint taskbar. Are we back, everyone? Are we back? Just double checking everything. It's a bit laggy because I can see my stream is still on when I'm speaking this, and stream is still on, like the blueprint walkthrough was just on. So I'm guessing I'm lagging. Yeah, it's like my drop frames have gone down to like half. So I'm actually going to take a wee break while we get the frames to recover. Or are we back? Yeah, it looks like I've stopped dropping frames. And it looks like we are back? Question mark. Once again, doing no... Yeah, it's like... Twitch has dropped out entirely. Which is annoying. I'm back. Sorry about that. In this case, weird technical issues. But I think the internet's behaving now. I think we can proceed. Just in time for us to finish our side task. I want a second layer of circles, so we can actually demo the process here by like highlighting it, pressing C, and then I'll have to move the belt around. I can actually do the stacking now. and then rotate the finished product. That's on its merry way, so conveyor belt up. Actually, we can do one more stack at the end. Then stack all that at the bottom. And then we can connect the line to the existing line, and we need to add the 180 rotator before it goes up. So then it rotates in place, and then we can take the existing stacker to stack this on top. Cool. Where were we? Oh yeah. So this line is done. We actually don't need it anymore. So what we can do, we can do a second line, because what we actually don't need is this. What I might do actually is so what I'm actually going to do is three cutters, basically generate the core circles here. So we'll do the conveyor belts up to here, then have three cutters, just standard 90-degree rotating, and then three cutters again, and now that's sent off like so, and then we can even that off, and then we can actually highlight this and then copy and paste it to here. Have it playing over as the third line. Cool. This line is actually mega redundant now, so just get rid. That's all gone. We now have two lines of core circles. We could actually stick the stackers up here. Have the near core circles be the ones up top. Have the far core circles be the ones that do the rotating. And that leaves us with... Okay. That's half the problem. Now I need to do the other half, which is the squares. Unfortunately, this is currently feeding that. What are you doing? It's actually not needed anymore. And this whole line goes in here, which is also not needed, so you just dump the whole thing. That's cleaned up nicely. So we can essentially take all of this, copy it, rotate it, and flip it. And we can have essentially the exact same line, producing the exact same thing except squares. So if we gather this up, and if we gather this up, and we do one more round of stackers, let's do the circles on the bottom, and the squares we can take to the top, like so. And then the finish. Wait, hang on. Need to do a quick 180 of the squares before. No, actually, it's 90 degrees we needed. Sorry. There we go. Now we'll rotate because this way the squares are stacked on top of the circles, and we actually want the squares to be beside the circles. So we have to rotate in 90 degrees actually. And that's wrong. This is right though. Okay. So, probably shouldn't have completely flattened the line because now we're recycling. That's okay. We can just flatten this whole line and start over. So we need 3/4 of a circle, a square, and then half square, and a quarter circle. So, start from first principles. Squares. I'll just take the opportunity to fire them into the main place. Actually, stick the cutters upstairs, because we might need this area later. And then we need core circles, if we can get. Up here. And we do the old cut, rotate 90 degrees, cut routine. I should now be very familiar with. And then there'll be a matter of 6 stackers. We've already got the circles on the bottom floor. And these squares on the top. So fire them away. Meanwhile, we need 3/4 of a circle. So that's. I wonder if we can actually fit inside here. So firstly, grab waiting for the squares, okay. Grab. New round of circles, and then have them be cut into half like so. And likewise in the same, except do the core circle technique. No need stackers. And this can be the bottom line. We can gather all these up. No, actually. Plus I need to rotate the core circles, don't I? Bottom corners will need to rotate them 90 degrees like so. Right, and now we can stack them up. And there's no room for 6, so what we're going to do, for efficiency's sake, file one line across. And we'll actually bring this upstairs for the firing. And when we're across, we can stack them like so. So that's going to go straight there. And that goes straight there. And then we need to add a core square to that. Now we already made a mess of a core squares, but we can highlight this, copy, and then rotate it, and flip reverse it, and change it so that the squares output in the other corner. Just checking, need it on the top right, so top right. Okay, and we can add stackers here. Have these without the bottom row, and we're going to raise the conveyor belt to go over this anyway, so have them handle the top row. So these squares, do we need them in the immediate future? No. What I can do instead is upgrades. The cutter separates the east and west half, and we might as well do trash since that would probably be useful. I have not been paying attention to what's happening over here. The milestone tree. We need to add a square to this line. Which we're probably going to have to raid from up here. So Do an extractor, conveyor belt, go upstairs, and place it somewhere like here for now, because we're going to stack them, and actually we need to stack the shape on top, so like so. I take this line and combine them all again. And find the combined shape. Because we needed the shape that was manufactured here on top of a square. Here are said squares. So now the squares are being loaded at the bottom while the ready-made shapes is added to the top. Cool. And then milestone trees also like core circles, which we've done here actually. So what we can try and do is can we copy all this, then like rotate, flip, rotate, doesn't quite fit. Disappointing. What we're actually going to do instead, four instructors. I'll have this fired over that line, and this I actually have to go over the whole thing. That's fine. I actually have parallel lines, one upstairs, one below, and then that will make stacking relatively. That's for later. But as I was saying, we'll have parallel lines, and I'll make stacking relatively quick. No, you need to cut, and then rotate 90 degrees, and then cut again, and that will result us in that's something we can copy, go upstairs, attach to the other line. We need to rotate this 180 degrees. Yeah. Actually, move that one square. We can do this. And now we just need to go to our friendly stacker assembly. Take our lower belt, line them up. Take our upper belt, line them up. And we can actually go down here, go upstairs, and then fire it off into the void. The void. Oops. So I made an error there. Yeah, I should have rotated these 80 degrees actually. Now, result in squares on the bottom, which then can be stacked. No, I should have gone 180 degrees actually. Because the squares on the bottom right, so we actually want circle on the bottom right, so we want the squares on the left. I'll get there eventually. That's one of the puzzly aspects of like trying to assemble. There's eventually go, yeah, that's how you do it. Meanwhile, this line I haven't sent to be deposited into the void yet. I was wondering why it was doing nothing. Yeah. I think that's right. And yeah, the counter's ticking up now. Cool. There we got the green tick of success for these two lines too. Is there a more efficient way of doing this? Almost certainly. But it's like, it's something I can understand and hopefully you can too. All these shapes getting thrown into the void. So while we wait, we can look at other options like missing a quarter. And recycling milestone shapes. That'll probably be, yeah, milestone tree. We've already got this and then this. In this case, stacking would be just cutting that in half and then stacking a circle and then cutting in half again. So, which line is it now? Press I to clear all shapes and fluids of the selection. Oh, okay. So I can go this and then whoosh, no more shapes. So yeah. Activate this task, which is just no, actually. I want this rotated 180 degrees. No, we actually want, if we, excuse me while we pause to grab the counter clockwise 90 degrees. There we go, counterclockwise. Yep, that's it. Now we can do the tree cuts of doom. And that would send in the desired shape. Meanwhile, this one, well, we just need a circle on top. That's relatively straightforward. That's squares. That's circles. That's actually fully allocated, so we'll just extract from here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. That can fill up while we take our circles from earlier. and actually go duck under this line and go back on top and connect that line together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoops. Slightly over capacity there, so actually we can make things ever so slightly more efficient by here come the circles. Now we can stack on top, and then I think the next step would be to cut in half and then actually stack second circle and the third circle. I might actually wind up by detouring this line up here so I can have access to this selection of circles. Well, milestone 3, take A on top of B. Okay. No. Back up a wee bit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we already had. Is that not right? And once. Yeah, once these rotated 90 degrees. We can actually do over here before we get sent into final delivery. Meanwhile, these want circles on top. It's this line. Now I'll just cut off and redirect it up here for now. There. A nuisance, but hopefully that will be added in, and basically the circles that take a detour get slotted in as when required, which now leads to a full line. There's a thought. Do you have any free circles that we can take up that's not being occupied by either of these lines? That's being used for the main line. Yeah, that's being used for the main line. It's like this upper one is what. Yes, those all four are being used in the main line. I guess we'll just split off this supply then. As I said, it should be relatively straightforward since just need circles top like so, and then we take our previous line and just connect it on bottom, and then gather them up and wire them off. I think these both are the current Press O to expand the selection to all connected structures. That'll probably be useful for cleaning up later. But yeah. Unfortunately, we are running low on circles. We've got 2 lines demanding circles, and we've got all 4. So basically, the limiting factor is that they have run out circles for these current tasks, so we're going to make the pinned side tasks lower priority while we focus our production on the 960 items for milestone 3. So good time for we inspect our stream. Make sure YouTube isn't shouting at me. Make sure Twitch isn't shouting at me because of bit rate issues or whatever. Yeah, everything seems to be in order. Yeah. Yeah. I realise that live streaming is probably not the most efficient use of time because we've got this downtime where we've got to wait until everything is fed into the void, and we've got, how fast are we going? 90 meters per 90, not meters per second, it's 90 items per minute. So we've still got about another 5 minutes before milestone 3 completes. Yep. We are 90 minutes in. And we're basically about to hit the point where the game starts expanding rapidly. I think this is the last task in operator certification, and then we'd plan to go into a standard factory. But yeah, you know what I'm going to do actually? I'm going to take a break, grab some more water, and be back in a couple of minutes. So, see you then. Hello and welcome back. I'm Owen Fuzz, and in my break, it looked like one of my pin tasks has finished. We'll unlock the next one. It wants a second circle. Well, the good news is that we are about done with this, and then it's just a simple matter of halving it. So, yeah. Yes, we'll do another round of stackers, I guess. So that's 2 rounds of circles we need, and I'm not particularly fussed on quartering the existing line. We probably should start pinching from the main line. Good news is that we are almost done with the main task. Draw V to reselect your most recent blueprint, which was this cut job. Actually, water cutter. That'd be useful. Okay, so there's this one. So we can actually go cut that line off. Go back. Go upstairs. Do the quarter cut. And have it flung into the void. Yeah, that's right. And then milestone tree. Milestone completed. Unlock your rewards in the milestones interface. Space platforms. Yeah, within some basic skills, so I think you're ready for this. You may now build space platforms and foundations to expand into the universe. For those ones, we've added a platform limit. I mean, we're not insane, right? 500 platform limit and like vortex inputs. Which means we can now choose normal factory or hard factory. Well, we'll just go normal for now. And do a quick save, because we haven't yet. And I hope the game hasn't crashed. Oh, that was just nipping too. Blech. That was dumb. So if we hit space, we're now into space. And notice that milestone 4, we need a red semicircle and a blue square. We only need work with grey, so how do we get red and blue? And then you scroll out and you reveal there's a nice candidate for some red circles. A minor extension. I need to connect this asteroid to our home, and we'll just stick here for simplicity's sake. So we'll do an extractor here. Nah, that didn't work. No, it didn't work. Now let's so the red circles are extracted, then we cut off the west sides since we don't need them, and that gets fired off into our space belt. Into this landing zone where we can create a new line. Essentially connects around our existing lines and fires off like so. Oh yeah, I forgot we don't need this anymore, but we might need some of the existing lines in recycling milestone shapes. So that'll be this line here, and actually cut off here, and this line here, so cut off here. Actually, what we should do is cut off here, so that the existing line will do this stacking. And then we cut off the line here. And have it fired off up here. This will eventually stop once it runs out of the existing shapes. Meanwhile, we can go look for the blue square. So is interesting. Red circle. So for our purposes right now, what we can do is essentially copy what we did with the circles. Now a space belt. That'll be the rightmost lane. I'll just raid that belt for now. Here comes the first of our shape. So that frees up this line. So I think we can just cut this off and this we don't need at the moment, so we can actually detour here I didn't know you can do the throwing buoys anywhere. That would have been useful, actually. Yeah, the red circles are being delivered now, and here comes the blue squares. Oh, it's the wrong way round. I see, I see. Yeah, I was being dumb. The squares at the bottom. Circles up top. Steady, mate. I guess we can do some upgrades now. We actually haven't done anything yet. Swaps halves. That might actually be useful later. And we'll increase the number of vortex inputs from 4 to 6 per side. That opens up these two spaces. Yeah. Okay. Progress has indeed been made. We've finally got these two started. Which means I can start looking at these ones. Missing a quarter. And that seems simple enough. We'll make one supply of these squares into halves and the other supply into quarters. The halves we can probably do here. That's a matter of no, that didn't work. Oh, actually, I know that doing the whole loop back round actually doesn't hurt your efficiency, so. And we'll take these squares and then fire them off here. Place them over here for now, because we are about to water them using the tried and true method. Tree. Actually, I wonder if we can use the cutter to make things more efficient. Cutter requires 4 per line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And it turns into 4 half lines. Everything gets rotated, and we'll probably just keep things simple by just doing half destroyers. The rest. Actually, that shouldn't matter, because if we do, we'll go downstairs, so if we rotate these 180 degrees, that will be fine. It's the vortex doesn't mind what rotation you give it, as long as you give it what it wants. and fire it off like so. Meanwhile, our core circles is finally done, so once additional core circles. Oh. That'll explain why that belt was so slow. Forgot to connect up the rest of it. No. So. Where is our line? There wants a second line of okay. I'm already kind of maxing out capacity here. The cheapest and easiest solution would be to split off core circle line like so. As I said, not the most efficient, but this is side tasks anyway, so supreme for efficiency is probably not really required, as long as you get the job done. And we're now entering the finished product into the void, and yes, it likes it. Cool, so that's one more task out of the way. What else? Army wants to do a second line of red circles to speed things up, but yeah. I'm actually almost finished with the 3-core squares. I hope that this process won't become a problem for me. Okay, repeat the process. We are kind of running low on squares. I'm actually going to do clockwise, I think is the correct answer for this one. I realise we've inadvertently split this belt into two. I don't really care. stacker. I guess we'll go around this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, we need more half squares, don't we? Fantastic. Another circle on top. Okay. That's not going to fit. Mommy wants to blow up this whole line and start over. Yup. Now I guess go from first principles again. Circles. These are squares. No, these are circles. These are squares. Okay, so the squares we need a quarter. So we'll just use good old-fashioned circle, half destroyer, rotator, half destroyer, routine again. And we are in this circle line. We are going to introduce the cutter to proceedings. That didn't work. That means if I introduce the half rotator, actually I think everything needs 90-degree turn. And then if we do a stacker, there. Will that be the bottom row? And then this. Top. Nah, that didn't work. Okay. What? and produce our three-course circles as we desired. So we take our... where do we put them? Okay, the vortex indicates whether you deliver correct shapes. Red cross, not required anymore. Green check mark, correctly delivering. Grey check mark, you delivered enough. Lock, correct, but future goal. And blueprint shape, this is challenge difficulty only. That'll be the B. Now, I got distracted there. So here's our quartz. Where's... No. This line. No. Where did I put... It's this line here. Okay, so... so here we are. Top left. Bottom right, so we need to rotate that 180 degrees, I think. Six. Up. Down. And across. And across. Gets us our base template. We're only close to the goal, so what we need now is a fresh supply of circles, which we don't have. I'll tell a lie, we do. We've got 3 here. Uh-huh. 3/4. So I realised the correct approach here would be to build out a new line of 2 core circles to complete the set, but I'm feeling very lazy, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for some. So what we're going to do, 6 more stackers, taking the existing output, putting them in the bottom. Going up here, eventually splitting this off into thirds, top output, and then this will eventually finish. I realise this is hilariously inefficient, but it saves up circles that we can use for the other tasks, since we need to stack 3 of them on top. Three circles? Yeah, 3 circles. It's fired off at the end. Okay, so where we were, got the baseline circle made here, so we can start loading that up, and now we can start extracting our circles to go on top. Again. And the third one will probably sneak underneath. Or around the side. So we've got the first load of circles ready to go on top as the base comes into view, and now we've got the second load of circles coming on top, and eventually start seeing the third layer of circles. That goes on top, and hopefully that meets the void's approval. It does. Look at all these multiple resource lines in perfect efficiency. As I start dropping loads of frames. Sorry about that. Thankfully, this is the sort of game where fast action is not the aim of the game. So the occasional dropout shouldn't, question mark, shouldn't affect things. But yeah. Yeah, it looks like my internet's giving me grief. I look like I'm more or less still alive on YouTube. Might be skipping some frames on Twitch. Not sure. It's not great. One of those cases where I'm just got my testing browser. So apology for any hiccups in the viewing, everyone. I missed that we've finished our circles, so we need essentially same as before, except doubled. And made into whole shapes. So if we go back to... Actually, we can just... Not delete. Don't delete. Copy. Yep. Rotate. And I get fired off the superhighway. have a cut, and it's rotate these 180 degrees. Trying to figure out where do I have room for. What I can do actually is tree here, tree here, have a toggle off the higher level. We can have a split view, so we can have tree come off here and then tree come off here. And that can go back up here. And this can go or not. What I really need is a fourth square, actually. So we'll go here and split off. Something like that. And then second half then that's no good. All that. Okay. Keep things simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like so. Take out one of our house, stick them upstairs. Take our other house, stick downstairs. Make the final product. What we want. And fire them into the void. Like so. There's one hell of a line that we don't think we need. Yeah, it's like need missing a quarter. That literally just done, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this line and get rid. This line I don't think we need anymore. Yeah, we don't. So, get rid. That frees up a lot of capacity for stuff like our squares. Our trio of squares. Still need this. Don't need this anymore, because we can actually go back here. Actually, we need to firstly extend our mine to turn the second light on. That's kind of inconvenient, isn't it? Okay, so what I'm going to do this, do this, copy and paste, and then have this go here, and then this round go here. This line I don't think we need anymore. And this line, I'm going to call redundant, just get rid. That frees up a lot of space. Wow, I'd forgotten how big that line was. So, top two, which I think translates to these two on the right. So yeah. I need to take one of them, rotate them 90 degrees anti-clockwise, and we take our friend the stacker and do our routine. One downstairs, one upstairs. With the preview, that's what we want, and then basically fire the result into the void, like so. Ooh. Okay, so now what? We're coming to a halt here because we have created our L shape, and now we need a second line of that's fully occupied, so we'll raid, extract this, and we only really need half, so do just very basic line, cut, and take the half. So we've got what we actually need to do is go here and reverse this line. And then we're actually going to do belt launcher, launch the belts over this line. We don't have to muck around with bridges. Stick them over here. And then 2 rounds of stackers. Left, and we are going to have to rotate this clockwise 90 degrees. So it's on the left. If these goes on top. Yep. And then have them ready to be stacked. Ah, wrong. Right, left, left, right. I was wrong. We actually leave these alone. They're in the correct position. And we rotate these guys 180 degrees. That's not what I wanted to do. It's shift left click I to clear up the belt. And yeah. Just double check. Yeah, that's the right shape. Having a belt launcher over the line. And that's 2. That, like so. Cool. Yeah, so that'll be sorting this pin task out eventually. Or not. Hang on. Stop. In the case, I had a bunch of the unrotated 2 pieces still in the system, so that's what's causing the problem. But yeah. In this case, we'll let the jumbled messes accompany the correct shapes. Yeah, that should hopefully fill up the line and maximize efficiency once again, which is what we want. Yeah, well, part of me is tempted to, like, since we need 2,000 of these shapes, to like go maximum efficiency with this and essentially mirror the system that we got here. Can we fit though? Not quite. Yeah. Yeah, we can do what we can. It's, God, just 2,000 shapes is a lot. No, not delete, we want select. And that's what the output we were looking for. And this, yeah. I think the easy solution would be to take the whole shape, actually, as is. And I'll do the cutting when we get at the main base. Inside left. No. Do a parallel line of 6 stackers for now. I think literally do a parallel line would be the way to go. Over the belt. Yep. Realize my error. Stop. No, counterclockwise. I probably did that too. Yeah, the double stack squares they'll get fired off and then rejected by the void. The proper lines. Yeah, that's what we want. Six more research points. Time to do some shopping. The bend stacker. So right now we haven't actually wires. Unlocks wires, signals, filters, readers, displays, and buttons. Automate your factory even more. What you probably should be doing is like upgrading belts and cutting and stacking. The basics. For now. Now, speed things up further. That the squares will probably finish before the circles now. I wonder. Copy. Do one more. And have the belt launcher, bar squat, half circles over the line. And I wonder if I can do the same again. Belt launcher. No. And squarely. Just do up and out. Up and out. So 180 degrees. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, not quite. What we'll do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stackers here. Now this belt go below, and this belt actually would keep it upstairs. Now, locked everything up. Just take the free route into the void. Meanwhile, the pin task is done, so we need to add a quarter circle. So, yeah. Those are squares, those are circles. I'm not using this, so go to the blueprint section, create a quarter cutter. Add 4 extractors, conveyor belt into core cutters, and have them put into the main room. So we can actually stop the belt here. Probably need some space because I have to rotate this. What I actually should do is elevate it and get us a bit more fighting room, and then rotate it. No, anti-clockwise. 90 degrees. Let's get us into the desired hole. And then, relatively straightforward procedure. 6 more stackers to take our previously created item. And then add another or circle 2. The finished product to get us this magical shape, which is the rare image of what the void wants, but I think that's good enough. Just let the first few come in to just double check everything. Yes. Okay, cool. Whew. On to milestone 4 and our dueling parallel lines. Okay, so the final task is to complete the blue square. It's a good thing I did 2 lines of the blue then. So we're now going to stop this. And fortunately I think we're going to have to make one of these lines redundant, so don't need them anymore. And then complete the square. So do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more stackers. Have this line that's passing go in the bottom. Have this line that's going off into the distance actually go up top. No. Have the line that's going up in the distance. Rotate it 108 degrees first. There we go. That will result in a complete square, which we can then take, add 6 more stackers to, and we want the blue square on the bottom. And these red circles that we made earlier, put them on the top. Gather them all off, fire them into the void. I guess we can clean up here since don't need these. Don't need these. Leave the existing line as it is. Now, unless we can find some other source of blue squares, I suspect this is where we're supposed to have gone. And this is blue shapes. Lots of interesting shapes, lots of interesting colours that we will soon be adding to our rotation. Yeah, I think for now I've just about finished the pinned side task anyway. So hope you're having a wonderful time. Thanks for watching. And yeah. Oh, we need to take the whole shape and stack a second shape on top. Okay. Actually, tell I we just need to stack a second core circle. What we actually can do is if I actually just have 4. What if they'll be using 2 lines actually. Never mind. blueprints, core cutter. That. No, that's... What am I doing? I want the extractor there. Now the extractor, take core circles, put them into that quarter cutter. Those circles, put them into that quarter cutter. And what I can probably do is clean up this section. Won't need it for a bit. Now it fired off into the distance, and then basically do a stacker here. And now basically the core circuit will be pre-stacked before we take it up on the line. Yeah, we have to rotate it anti-clockwise like so. I made a mess of that belt. Ah, that was the reverse of what I wanted. There we go. So now I've got the core circles pre-double stacked, which you can then fill in the hole of our shape we made earlier. And we're off to the races. Cool, cool, cool. Can we do one more? Mushroom. Yeah, this is using one of the shapes that we got from the blue section. We might be able to finish this before we finish milestone 4, so if we race back. Oh right, I forgot we're using all this for now. I've actually got plenty of other shapes that we can mine. We want specifically the bomb side. So if we take a conveyor belt, rotate it 180 degrees, and then do the half destroyer, rotate it clockwise, and do the half destroyer again. I guess with the shape we want. Okay, cool. There's probably a more space efficient way of doing this. Nah. Blocks off this section, but I believe if we do one more minor expansion, and the left lane lights up rather than the right lane lights up rather than the bottom lane, so we can do this and then essentially have us firing items into space, and then if we quickly make a space belt, where are we gonna land? No, I can't do that. What we'll do instead is a space belt there, and do a tunnel. And rotate round like so. And that gets 2 items fired off, and they land here. So we can stick our conveyor belts here and here. So next, wind them clockwise. And do our friend the stacker. Six on bottom, 6 on top. And that's our shape. So we'll just fire it over into the void. As simple as that. And that's the missing quarter section done. We can do this because I believe this is just this zapped. Okay, so I think we're gonna need a lot of these, so get the extensions out immediately. Extractor was cut. That's essentially the shape we want. So get out the space belts once again. Yep, too far. Have them land on this corner. Don't forget. Far left leg. Okay. And for the time being, launch them into the void. Wait for them to arrive from the vast nothingness of space. Cool. So that's going to finish up relatively quickly, as is our mushroom friend here. Yep. like if this was like an edited Let's Play, this would be the point where I'd cut to when I've got one or both of these side tasks sorted, so we can stare at all the shapes getting thrown into the void. Actually, now that we're talking about it, this line is redundant. I don't think we need this anymore. That disappears. This line is also redundant. So I go O to select everything that's connected to it, and hit delete. And leaves us with our milestone for circle and square line, and our two side task lines. Yep. So I guess we can look at what's available to upgrade. We can unlock the bent stacker. Stacks the top shape and the bottom shape and outputs to the side, which is one of those situations whereby there may be edge cases where you need it, but if you're going for ultimate efficiency, I'm sure there's plenty of ways to use it. But label, again, that's very much aesthetics, but yeah. The third floor, that's probably the most exciting thing about it. Foundations I'm not too worried about because we cleared a significant amount of the main factory floor. Wire basics is probably going to be the next thing we unlock, which would make the cutter that splits items in half. That'll probably make it far more useful, because that would then result to logic gates. And oh boy, simulations of buildings. Simulate the cutting, stacking, unstacking and painting of logical shape signals. And then we've got global wire transmission. And of course, oh yeah, fluids. And that's probably coming up. And then trains. And then the ability to launch trains directly into the vortex. I digress. We are about to finish up with this pin task over here. Great map marker. That should be useful. The void. Or not. That's the vortex platform. Look at all the shapes we're feeding it. Okay, so yeah, I think we're about done with this one, so we'll take a look at the mushroom. We want a half circle on top. Well, we've freed up a lot of capacity over here, so and just connect. If we go and cut over here, and then we'll take the half circle, rotate it counterclockwise first before we send it to be stacked. Yeah. No, activate the task first. That'd be a good idea. And the next task is just simply stack a circle on top, which we can prepare for. Relatively straightforward. Then once again, once we deliver 1,200 of these with the vortex, then we'd just redirect the line under here, and then the stacker would stack. Yep. Meanwhile, it looks like this line is about done. So, rotated stacking. Looks like second, so it's the exact same shape, just rotated 9 degrees and same to get this interesting mess. So unlock that. So what we'll do is prepare for the future by essentially copying this setup and applying it to all 4 of these. Yeah, that's fine. That's all producing the same shape. And that goes over top. And have this go over top as well. And basically have 4 versions of the same shape ready for stacking on top of each other. So start by actually cutting out this line. Start by preparing the stacking operation. So I guess we'll do it here. So this will be in the final line, and this will be our first line. So we'll go start with this lot. Have them go in the bottom. I've got it backwards. Hang on. I suppose we'll start at the stacker, stacker, stacker. Have that feed into the bottom. Next, go upstairs and rotate. Let's go clockwise. Yeah, because that's, I believe, the line that's on the guide. And this can go there. And then meanwhile, we have this line go up, and we'll use the 180 degree rotator to rotate things and have that ready. And then this final line we'll actually go with the counterclockwise rotator. Because 270 degrees clockwise equals 90 degrees anti-clockwise. And basically the idea is that once we finish this line, we can reroute it, put it underneath, and then route this there, and save for this one. So yeah. Yes. Sorry about this. Gonna have to take a small break. Be right back. Oh, I'm back. Yeah, you missed nothing. So what have we got to go? Basically the plan is once I finish milestone 4, I'll probably finish up. But before then, we've got the question of yeah, I think I might have just dropped out on YouTube there. Good thing I was just on break, and good thing we're in the situation whereby we're waiting for conveyor belts to send shapes into the void. Which is what you want, really. So our mushroom dude is about not quite done. It'll be done in the next minute or so. And once again, just a matter of redirecting this underneath, having circles already placed, ready to go on top. Yeah. Part of me actually wants to cut here and basically skip to the end of the milestone. Part of me just wants to chill. Oh yeah. So yeah. an interesting situation whereby I wonder if there's colourful stuff. Oh yeah, we could try some of this. And like that's where we can like immediately do once we're finished here. We can just and the painting basics, red, green, green, red. Off we go. Now redirect this. Have the circle fall on top. And while we wait, we can have the squares that goes on bottom. Just ready to roll. So it'd be like 6 stackers here. And a basic cut line here, put it on top here. That's the next shape sorted. Yeah, once we can get the mushrooms series done, then we'll probably switch over to the red star, since here you can see we've got the red star items shape. Colourful star, should I say. Sorted. Yeah, that's what I'm saying going to be for the next stream. Yeah. In this case, there's very much a task of... I'm at a stage now where basically I'm at a stage where gotta have to yap. And that's a skill that I've not really developed. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. As I said, I'm at the stage now where I have nothing else to add really, so I am gonna wrap things up. It's nearly midnight anyway. So, yeah, let me switch over to just chatting and quietly save the game. 2 hours and 50 minutes play time, 14% of the research. Cool. I'm gonna quit the desktop and put my background music back on. Like so. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this very laid back stream. I am not going to be streaming tomorrow, but Friday, the plan, fingers crossed, the plan is to do another Deadlock stream in the evening. 8:30, 9 PM UTC +1 is the plan, but I'll let you know on Twitter and Threads and YouTube waiting room for specific times. yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Bit different from my usual high octane fare, don't you think? So yeah, I will see you again Friday or Saturday. We'll tweet and thread and YouTube waiting room. Hopefully we'll make things very clear. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.